Now let's see a problem. Let us say there is a person A and it is some tournament. Let's assume that it is a wrestling tournament and he has reached the finals and he is waiting for the other opponent, and the semi-finals, one of the semi-finals is still going on. There is a person B and a person C competing in this semi-finals. The probability that B will win the semi-finals, assume that it is 1/3, and the probability that C will win the semi-finals, assume that it is 2/3. Okay. In case if A fights with B, the probability that A will win, in case if A fights with B, the probability that A will win is 2/3. In case if A fights with C, the probability that A will win is, let us say, 1/4. Okay, try to understand this question. So it is like this: A is already in the finals and he is waiting for his opponent. Now either B or C, both who are actually competing in the semi-finals, either one of them is going to fight with A. The probability that B will win this fight is equal to 1/3, and the probability that C will win the fight is equal to 2/3. In case if B won the fight and if B fights with A, then A will win over B with probability 2/3, and the same way A will win over C with probability 1/4. Now we have to say what is the probability that A wins the game or A wins the trophy, which means even in the final match also A has to win. What is the probability that he will win? So now if you see this, you can think of it like this. It is, you can find out all the entire sample space, and maybe if possible you can see if you can put it in terms of the total probability theorem, right? So let's say this. So first thing is, what is the probability or what are the events that are going to take place here? So this entire trophy thing, it is going to have two matches. First match is between B and C, and the second match will be between A and the winner of this, right? Therefore in the first match B can win. In case if B won the first match, in the second match A might win, or in the first match B might win and in the second match also B might win, or in the first match C might win and in the second match A might win. What is the second match? Are you getting this? In the first match if B wins, the second match will be between A and B. That is why second match either A will win or B will win. Getting this? Similarly, in the first match in the semi-finals, C might win, and in the second match in the finals, who will be fighting in the finals? C and A. Either A will win or C will win. Now what they wanted is, what is the probability that A will win the trophy, right? Which means in the second match, which means the final, what is the probability that A will win? Now again, if you can see this, based on who wins the semi-finals, you can divide the sample space into two parts. Therefore you can go with this total probability theorem. So probability that A will win is now equal to probability that B will win the semi-finals and A will win the final, plus probability that C will win the semi-final and A will win the final. Now what about them? Are they independent events or dependent events? Now probability that A will win is actually independent of whether B wins or not, isn't it? Probability that when A and B fights, the probability that A will win is equal to 2/3. When A and C fights, the probability that A will win is 1/4. Now these probabilities are not depending on these probabilities, which means it is not that this B or C winning is going to change these probabilities. Those probabilities are not going to change given that B wins or C wins. That is why probability that B will win into probability that A will win given B has won. So why am I writing like this? It doesn't mean that the probability is changing. I am writing like this because this will indicate that A is fighting against B. Okay, so that is why I am writing it. It doesn't mean that these two probabilities are depending. Okay, plus probability that C will win into probability that A will win given C has won. It doesn't mean that A and B are actually dependent in the other sense, which means the probability of A will not change. But then why am I writing this? Because there is a difference in A winning. Got it? So what is it? Probability of B winning is equal to 1 by 3 into probability of A winning given that B has won. So this means that A and B are fighting. That is why this case is different. So which means 2 by 3 plus probability that C has won, which is equal to how much? 2 by 3 into probability that A will win given that C has won, which means A will be fighting with C. In case if A fights with C, I told you that he wins is with the probability 1 by 4. So this is the total probability that A will win. Got it? Probability that A will win is this. Again we have used the total probability theorem here. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%. But all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.